My full name is Dakota Legoete, the Chief Whip for the ANC caucus in Tlokwe municipality.
Okay. Well, today, very interesting day for the municipality. We've got a very excited bunch of DA members downstairs waiting to move into the offices, but they can't. Explain why.
Look, consistent with what we have said yesterday in the Pretoria North Gauteng High Court, that we welcome the decision by the judge. We're going to study the judgment, and upon that we'll make a proper action. And the action that we have taken is to appeal the judgment of yesterday, because we think on a number of points the court erred in its decision, because it has not looked at facts of law before it, rather than looking at comments. But I would not want to deal with the matter, the demerits and merits of the matter, because it's still subject to care. But safe to say that we are exercising our right, because yesterday we said we'll accept the court outcome, but we'll study the judgment. And part of the things that we are going now is to we have already submitted a motion to appeal this morning, so we are exercising our right to appeal. So that's where matters are. And as we appeal, it means the DA cannot occupy the office, the status quo will remain the same.
And coming back to that point where the DA cannot occupy the offices, we understand that the sheriff doesn't have instructions to remove the ANC either. So what becomes of the judgment yesterday? I mean, surely if a judgment is passed, the sheriff's given orders, but if he wasn't, it leaves the ANC free, yes?
Not necessarily that. It's in a process of the administration of law and justice that if any decision is appealed, the status quo would remain until the appeal has been finalized. And in this regard, that is what is happening. Okay. So obviously, we have submitted it before the judge, so the judge can proceed to take any further action on the matter, or even to instruct the sheriff. So that's what stands for now.
And I understand, should you not, come right to the High Court in terms of the leave to appeal, there's also a decision to take it to the Supreme Court?
Yes, there's a decision also to petition the President Judge of the Appeals Court, but we can't say that now because the appeal has not been heard. So we don't know what is the conclusion of the judge on this matter. So we would not want to preempt going to the Judge President, but safe to say that we are confident on our judiciary, and we think that they will listen to appeal and pronounce themselves. But whatever way, at that time, it's only that time that will make a decision.
Now, I understand that the leave to appeal can't be heard today; it can only be heard next week.
Well, I'm not part of the administrators of law and justice. I will not comment on that regard. I don't know.
Okay, no, that's fine. Anything else you can tell us? Like, what's the day looking like for the ANC today?
Look, today we are contesting by-elections. It's only that we had to bring this motion here, even to support our mayor. Councillor Mopetla is working. He was here this morning. He's just out on the council business. He's coming back again to meet with his mayoral committee just to brief them on our legal points that on the motion of appeal that we have done. Second to that particular point is that we will go out to door in the wards to which we are contesting in the by-elections. And we are confident as the African National Congress that we are going to win them. Because you need to understand principles of democracy. It was wrong for the DA to attempt to steal power in Tlokwe in the manner which they've done, because it's unethical. It's unheard of. In any modern democracy, if you want to emerge as the product of the ruling party or as the product that is going to rule the executive, you need to be an outcome of the elections. And the will of the people of Tlokwe, it is said that the African National Congress must rule them, it must run the executive. That is the outcome of the electorates. And we think even the court erred not to take into consideration the outcome of the electorates, because the political decisions in terms of the outcome of the Independent Electoral Commission cannot be a matter of the court to rule on. And I think on that particular regard, the court erred. It's risking our stability as a country, it's risking our stability as a city, because they are creating wrong precedents, wherein even you are not a product of the will of the people, you can be given the executive. That's to invite wrong means and efforts which are contrary to the outcome of democracy in which the majority rule as a principle.
Now, when is the by-elections?
The by-elections, there's one on the 7th of August, and the rest of the other 9 fired councillors will be on the 18th of September And as the ANC, I can tell you, we've put all the levers down, we've put all our efforts, our energy. We are positive that we're going to reclaim our majority in Tlokwe through those particular by-elections. But at the same time, we don't want to undermine the will of the people in just giving the DA power in a silver platter, which they don't deserve, because they're not an outcome of a free and fair elections, which was declared by the IEC in 2011 elections. They just want to steal power through the back door, and if the courts allows this wrong precedence to continue, it's just unfortunate. It will be a miscarriage of justice. Our judiciary will be failing us.
I just want to understand something. You said 7th of August is the by-election, and then September, is that another by-election, or is that the internal processes in the ANC?
No, there's a by-elections of the IEC on the 7th of August. This is the councillor who resigned of the ANC, who was a school principal, and now as the ANC, we resolved that. You can't hold two public service positions.
Yes.
So he resigned and he remained as a school principal. We are contesting his by-elections on the 7th, which is the 9th of, which is Ward 9 in Tlokwe. Then the expelled councillors, 9 of the 14 which is expelled are ward councillors. So we are contesting the by-elections on the 18th of September, wherein we'll be contesting those wards with these former councillors of the ANC, because we are told some of them are standing as independents. We want them. We are ready for them. And we are certain, and we have no doubt that we are going to outsmart them as the ANC.
Speaking of ousted ANC members, what's the current progress on the internal case against the current mayor?
What is it?
What's the internal processes? Because the last time we spoke to the ANC in Johannesburg National, they said that the ANC has processes to deal with erring or defaulting mayors, and this whole thing started because they believed that the mayor was responsible for squandering funds, and he has to appear before the ANC's internal disciplinary. So we just want to know what's the update on that.
Look, the process of the mayor is a matter that is handled by the party. That one I will not comment much on it. But safe to say that I can bring you to our National Congress resolution as part of the efforts of the African National Congress to deal with some of us who are employees who default in the course of their office duties. That upon one such, any member of the ANC is formally charged by the law enforcement agencies, meaning the police. It means that the ANC will have to act. And in the matter of Mapetla, all what is being happening are wild allegations. The DA claimed some few months ago that they've opened a criminal case against him. We're still awaiting for Mapetla to be charged. They claimed again as part of their political grandstanding and as part of attempting to displace the ANC, to say that they've reported the matter to the public protector, whichever is still awaiting. So we can't dismiss Mapetla just on wild allegations. We want facts. And what is before us, there are no facts. There's not even a criminal case opened against him. He has not been formally charged. So we don't want this particular situation where the DA is attempting to displace of the ANC in Tlokwe and use unethical means even to make and lie about other people's name.
What happens to the people that assisted the DA from the ANC? No doubt an embarrassment to the party.
Yes, it's an embarrassment, and we have dealt with that particular matter through our internal processes. 14 of them are expelled for a period of 5 years from the ANC, just for them to allow them to rehabilitate. Because as the ANC, the matter of conniving with the opposition in terms of our code of conduct, we take it as a serious offense. And none of the ANC members must attempt, because that is contrary to our code of conduct as members of the ANC. Don't even try it. Nobody else elsewhere should try it. It's dangerous.
Anything else you'd like to add?
What I would like to add is that let's allow democracy to prevail. If the Democratic Alliance wants to run Tlokwe municipality, they must await 2016 so that they become an outcome of the majority, which is the will of the people. We are still at the point where we have said in our Freedom Charter that in this country no government can claim legitimacy unless it's based on the will of the people. And that's why we had to fight the regime. That's why we had to fight even corruption. Because it's the ANC that brought legislation which is anti-corruption. The Scorpions, the Hawks, were the ones lately who have brought the Integrity Commission, which will handle our members who are found in wrongdoing with the abuse of offices and authority, which are conferred to them by the organization to run it on behalf of our people. So we are acting on this matter of corruption. We are the first ones who said the corruption against humanity, apartheid, is wrong. And we stood until the United Nations, we managed to convince it. And even now, we cannot even allow it in our ranks. I'm sure you know there are a number of leaders of the ANC who were found to be, who it was alleged that they were corrupt, and the ANC has acted. So there's no doubt, no ambiguity from our side that if Mapete is found on the wrong side of the law, there's no way that the ANC will spare him another moment, because that will be embarrassment to a movement. It will be an embarrassment to the integrity of the ANC as the ruling party. And we cannot tolerate that. We are certain that as the ANC, that corruption is an economic sabotage, and we are going to act against it.
Thank you so much.